What's up, everybody? This is Jeffrey Way with NetTouch Plus, and today's question comes via email, and it's about integrating the Compass framework into the PHP CodeIgniter framework, and this is fully doable. Compass can be integrated with anything. I think that's one common misconception, is that Compass is really meant to be used with Ruby and Rails, and although that's dominant, you can integrate Compass into anything you want because ultimately it's just static CSS files that are being generated. So if you'd like to learn more about Sass and Compass, we have this introductory series where you can get up and running very quickly. But now let's look at how we can integrate Compass into an existing CodeIgniter project. So I will go ahead and download CodeIgniter using Structure, which you can get for free on NetTouch. Just search for Structure. And I'm going to store it within my htdocs folder because we're working with PHP. That's a helpful little tip. If you work on multiple computers, set your document root to your Dropbox folder. That way at all times your websites are synced across all of your computers. Anyhow, so I will create a project and we'll call it my CI project. And now you can see we have a fresh installation of CodeIgniter. So let's go ahead and open that in our code editor of choice. Now you can see it's a standard practice to store your CSS folders, your JS folders, even your images within the root of your CodeIgniter project. So we can go ahead and do that right now, or we can just leave it as it is. So let's hide this for the time being and now get Compass integrated into our framework. So I'm going to visit compass-style.org and we're going to install this, and you'll see they've made it ridiculously easy. So don't worry if you're not familiar with the command line or the idea of Compass and Sass scares you. If you're particularly a web designer, you're going to be amazed at how much time this saves you, and it's really easy to set up. So let's just follow these. I would like to set up my existing other project with Compass's starter style sheets, and we can exchange that with Blueprint if we wish. I prefer the CSS-based. This is the syntax for Sass. This is the newer form, and it's going to be much more friendly to people who already use CSS quite a bit. So we'll stick with that. And I would like to either customize my project or use Compass's recommended. Now, I have a specific way I like to name my folders. So by default, they're going to use folder names like JavaScripts. I would rather use something like JS. So we will customize the project, and we're going to use Sass for that directory, CSS for the CSS, and JS for the JavaScript directory, and img for the images directory. And that's it. Now you can see it gives us some custom commands to run. So that's the next step. So I will boot up the command line and we'll run gem install compass. Gem install compass. And that'll only take just a second or so. All right, and the installation is now complete. So next we cd into the project that we're working in. So mine was within the Dropbox folder, within my websites directory, my CI project. And the last step is to run this custom command that'll create the necessary directories. So I'll paste that in. So now you can see here to import your new style sheets, this is the markup that you would add to your head tag. And notice you're referencing CSS files because ultimately, again, you're rendering static CSS files. The dynamic side will be done during development, but when it's rendered on the page, you're using simple CSS files. All right, so we are all set to go. The last thing we'll do is tell Compass to keep an eye on our style sheets. So I'm going to write Compass watch. And now you can see Compass is watching for changes, and we're done. We're finished with the command line. So let's come back into our code editor, and now if I refresh, you'll see that we have a Sass directory, and it goes ahead and populates that with 3 common style sheets, and it also populates it with the CSS versions. So let's go into the standard view. We'll go into the welcome message view, and right here let's get rid of all existing styles, and we'll add one ourselves. So we'll say link rel equals style sheet, and the ref is going to be in the CSS directory /screen.css. Okay, so the next step is let's view this in the browser. And now you can see we have an unstyled page rendered. And if I view my source, we do have a proper link. And this is what CSS goes ahead and prepares for us. You can see it goes ahead and inserts a reset for us. So how's that working? All right, let's check it out. Let's go into our Sass directory because Sass files are the ones that you edit. And we'll go to screen. And you can see that it's importing the reset. So if I were to remove that, and I refresh this page, nothing is showing up. So you can see adding a reset to your projects is as easy as running a single command that imports the reset file. So let's do one final proof of concept just to make sure that everything's functioning correctly. So I'm going to create, we'll say maybe background color, and that's going to be red, and we'll set it as the background color of our body element. just to make sure that everything's working and the Sass engine is in effect. Refresh the page, and sure enough, so I go back to view source, go to our generated CSS file, and that is being brought in. So there you can see Compass can be integrated in even to a static site. Don't worry that with all these references to Ruby and Rails that it can't work for your project. It absolutely can, and it only takes a moment or so. All right, so for more tips and tutorials, always visit NetTouch. If you'd like to learn more about working with Sass and Compass, just go to net.touchplus.com/sessions/mastering Sass. My name's Jeffrey Way, and I will see you later. Bye.